The Dynasty Podcast is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. You were warned. The Dynasty Podcast is brought to you by Jumbo Donuts. Get a delicious blueberry muffin, bacon and cheese sandwich, or the Jumbo Donuts world-famous chocolate-covered donut. Don't be a fool. Start the day off right at your local Jumbo Donuts.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the assholes on the Dynasty tonight. That's right. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to raise the curtain on the Dynasty tonight. Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like some kind of torture to have to watch the show. And now let's get things started. Why don't you get things started? It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, sexuational. This is what we call the Dynasty Podcast. And now, coming to you live from Riverdale Studios, your host, the one, the only, Eric Costanza!
Greetings and salutations, this is Eric Costanza coming to you live from Riverdale Studios. Welcome to episode number 3 of the Dynasty Podcast. My nipples are hard right now. Now, week 3 saw history in the NFL as all 8 games played at the 1 o'clock Sunday games had fourth quarter comebacks, which was a single-day record for one time slot. And with that being said, of the 16 NFL games played, 10 of which had fourth quarter comebacks, which is another NFL record. Now, as we get out of week 3, we're heading towards week 4. We've yet to see our first trade yet in the season. I have a gut feeling within my inner bowels that it's just a matter of time. I've seen a bunch of teams update their trade blocks. There's a bunch of rumors going around, and I just something tells me that soon we're going to see a bunch of movement from the trade front. However, enough fucking around. I know all of you are curious about the new waiver process, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that right now. Now, as mentioned in the message board, the new waiver process's goal is mainly to make things more fair league-wide and not give myself as commissioner a competitive advantage. Again, I'm striving for that 100% commissioner rating. This is just one of the many steps and that I will hope that you people out there, the coaches out there, you wonderful fine chaps out there, will think about when you're voting at the end of the year for my commission approval rating. Anywho, enough about me. The new process also makes my job a lot easier and less manual. Now, Coach Bubba Palucha helped me with all of this, including the verbiage of what I'm about to read here to you today. And he has also accepted yet another league role, which is to become the Dynasty Waiver Specialist. Therefore, after listening to this new process, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact both myself and Bubba. Now first, let's start off with what won't change. 3 things. Number 1, the way the waiver order is determined. Number 2, teams will still be able to offer a trade through the league site during the waiver period, but the team getting offered the trade will not be able to accept the trade until the waiver period is over. And number 3, if you want a player during the weekend, you put in a waiver claim in for that player just like you always have. None of that has changed. Now, what will change is all of the following. Instead of myself processing the waivers manually on Tuesday morning at 9:30, the waiver claims will be processed late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. This means that essentially Tuesday is still considered the weekend, and you can still make waiver claims on and through Tuesday. Now, when the waivers are processed late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning by CBS's automated system, all the players who were claimed are put on their respective teams via the waiver order. All the players who are not claimed go to the free agent list, where they can be picked up like normal for the rest of the week. Players who were dropped due to waiver claims will now go on waivers for one full day. Here is an example. If at some point within the waiver period, which will be 11:55 a.m. on Sunday through 1:59 a.m. on Tuesday night / Wednesday morning, let's say the goddamn Amber Alerts put in a waiver claim to drop Tom Brady and pick up Brian Hoyer. Assuming no one else puts in a claim for Hoyer, who has a higher waiver order than the Alerts, then on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning at 2 a.m., Hoyer gets added to the Alerts and Brady gets dropped and put on waivers for one full day, where managers can put waiver claims in for him just like they would if it were the weekend. Wednesday night, Thursday morning at 2 a.m. is when Brady would be off the waivers and become a free agent if no one put in a waiver claim for him. So if a player is picked up during the week and in turn a new player is dropped, that new player is put onto waivers. Managers can then put a claim in for that player if they wish, and the process works just like it would over the weekend. So if a player is dropped any time on Thursday, he will be on waivers for the rest of that day, Thursday, and then all the next day, Friday. Late Friday night, early Saturday morning at 2 a.m., the waiver would be processed. The manager who made the claim would drop down to 12, like normal, in the waiver order. If a player is dropped on Saturday, he would be on waivers the rest of the day on Saturday as well as Sunday, which would run into the regular waiver process. Therefore, a player dropped on Saturday remains on waivers until late Tuesday night, Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. Let me reiterate that all players can be picked up during the week like normal. It is only the players who have been dropped that are put on waivers for the rest of that day plus one full day. Everyone will have access to see the current waiver order at any time at the top of the ad drop page on the league site. I'm now going to go and have a shot of vodka. I'll be right back.
Now let's take a look into last week's results. Who kicked some ass? Who sucked?
Oh God, oh my God.
Now let's start off by taking a look at the game of the week, Yellow Peril versus the Amber Alerts. This was yet another game of the week which lives up to the hype. Now going into the Sunday night game, the Alerts had about a 20-point lead as Tom friggin' Brady had yet another great fantasy game with 31 points. Rob Gronkowski with 22 points, and I have to say I'm personally with Coach Johnny C. During the viewing of the Patriots games, in which again he has TFB and Gronk, and he gets extremely excited, very excited, when the Brady to Gronk connections happen, which has been very often so far during this early season. It's funny to see, and unfortunately it wasn't quite enough, because going into the Sunday night game, Big Ben Roethlisberger and Mike Wallace on Yellow Peril both teamed up for 35 points combined. Peril got another big game from Megatron Calvin Johnson, who had 22 points. I think the guy has like 6 touchdowns so far this season. And Yellow Peril won 124 to 111, high-scoring game, good game. Yellow Peril and Coach Jae Young Kim's team certainly they seem for real. Now I think they've cemented themselves so far to be a legit team in this league. It's good to see. Alerts, unfortunately for him, drops down to 2-1. Now the next North Riverdale matchup was Handy Quacks versus the